if we put this conspiracy into the world, we are handing our friends a loaded gun.
Where they're going to try and go to the edge of the world.
Yeah, and that gun is pointed right at us.
Hello and welcome back to Worlds Apart, your favorite, it better be, world building podcast. My name is Diana Faye, and as always, I'm joined by Odin. Odie, how's it going?
Tired. It's early.
Oh, buddy. Yeah. Australia, man. Shit's wild.
And
I
you
love
just
how
got daylight savings in too, so you went forward, but we stayed. So I'm like, oh god, we're fine.
Yeah. Sorry. What time is it over there?
9 a.m.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Shit. No, next time we'll start recording at night. I also love how we both have like cozy vibes, like the sweater and things like that.
It's finally getting cold in Australia, and I'm so excited.
Well,
I'm not going to be like sweating like crazy, just sitting still.
but it doesn't really snow down there, right? It's just like...
Not in my area, not where I'm from. I've never seen snow, so...
All right, well, we should world build snow then. So you can have
you want
some
to build a snowy area?
Nah, we should get back around to like the winter god at some point. But when we last left off, we did talk about the 5 seasons of our world, our as of yet unnamed world. We have different animal-like spirits that sort of encompass the vibe of each of these seasons. Of course, summer, winter, fall, spring, and then a 5th darkness season that is represented by a dragon of the Oh god. No, go ahead. Do it.
Did you forget something?
Listen, no, just go for it. Do it.
I seem to recall last time we recorded, you said I'll do it next time.
Yeah. You know what? Lav, if you could edit in the sound of a champagne bottle being popped, that would be great. Thank you. We're escalating.
Hold up, we're not even in double digits yet, episode-wise, and you want to escalate into champagne popping?
Yeah. After that's going to be cannon fire. Go on, though. Do your fucking...
My god.
Excellent. But yeah, we had created an eclipse dragon, a harbinger of the apocalypse that comes around once a year and blacks out the fucking sun. And
that was such a description I was not expecting.
What do you mean? It's too early in the morning for apocalypses.
Well, harbinger of the apocalypse. I'm like, god damn.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of Kingdom Death recently, and it's definitely seeped into all of my shit. Not successfully, by the way. I died like 20 minutes before we started this episode. Beside the point, though, what should we get into today? Because now that we have like the seasons kind of leveled out, we could get into a bunch of stuff related to that. We could talk about lore some more. We could go back into our little dragon boy and talk more about his story. We could do holidays. What are you thinking?
There's so many options. I didn't really think about the domino effect that seasons can have.
Yeah.
I feel like we can circle back to holidays once we actually have some cities and stuff built.
True, because they are regional.
Yeah. Depending on... I feel like we might just need to like flesh out a bit of lore around the seasons, just so we have that sort of unlock, and we can play with that later down the track when we're building cities and holidays and areas and beliefs or whatnot if we want to. So
yeah, 1,000%. So in that case... Well, I guess we should clarify too, if the seasons are, because of course when it comes to like your standard spherical globe and whatnot, usually it doesn't matter what the fucking season is when you're at the North Pole or South Pole or something like that. Do we want to make it so that...
Well, I think there's a more important question. Our world, flat or round Earth?
Oh no. It's actually it's a rectangular prism. You walk to the edge, you just yeet yourself up.
There's actually a slope at the end of our world, and you're fucked if you go down it. So
it's a pretty fucking sick ramp, though. Like, it's just, one of the gods is dude who did a fucking like barrel roll off of it one time. I don't know.
Dude, that would be a fucking sick lore. Go to the sea, just surf the wave down there.
Welcome to Worlds Apart. Fucking no, we keep it serious most of the time, I swear. So, I mean, the thing is, the origin of the seasons is that the sun touched the sea consensually. Yeah, and then birthed 5 different...
Yes, consensually.
and then birth 5 different like seasonal spirits. And
Mhm.
so do we want to make it so that the world, like everyone thinks that the world is flat, but it's actually round?
I've as an experienced dungeon master, someone who has run games for my friends, people in this community, our mutuals, we are building ourselves if we choose to do this. This world is flat, but it's actually round. If we put this conspiracy into the world, we are handing our friends a loaded gun.
Where they're gonna try and go to the edge of the world.
Yeah, and that gun is pointed right at us.
I did read some lore one time for Memento Mori, where if you walk to the edge of the world, because the world genuinely is like round and just ends on a disc, you know, and you take a certain potion, then you can glimpse the gods, which I thought was like the coolest thing. But also, yeah, it's definitely a loaded fucking gun, and we probably should not give our friends that power. So let's say it's round, and everyone believes that it's round.
Absolutely. Look, don't get me wrong. A flat Earth, like artistically wise, like having like waterfall off the edge of it, and like the art and the view from like space and back, it's fucking stunning. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also our friends.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We love them.
They're great.
So much.
They're amazing. You guys will meet them eventually.
But they are menaces.
They're terrible. They
Awful.
are nightmare players in the best possible way. And they're also going to give us a lot of payback for all the shit that we put them through whenever we've been at their tables. So expect that.
Yeah.
I also love how we're on episode, 6, maybe 7 or 8 or something like that. And we're just now getting around to the shape of the fucking planet that we've been building on.
Well, it was a bit from me in this episode to be like, is it flat or round? And now we're actually
have to
deliberating.
fucking think about it. Because,
Yeah.
like, if we have seasons, then they're going to affect different parts of the world differently. Maybe like far northern towns only ever worship like the winter spirit because they're like, this is the most relevant to us no matter what, outside of the eclipse boy who, you know, shows up. But maybe every like part of the world has its predominant like
Season.
preferred spirit. Yeah, it's like, you know, patron deity almost when it comes to
Okay.
the seasons.
That could work.
So short answer, round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
round. The world is round.
World's
Let's
round.
make that
Everyone thinks it's round.
very specific.
Mhm.
Episode title. It's round. There's no discussion.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. So back to the seasons.
Mhm.
Now that we've solidified that very important law. Okay, so we have a 15-month year, don't we?
We do, yeah.
Yes, having 5 seasons because of Ecleus or Eclius, I forget how we pronounce it, our dragon boy who jumps out of the water and wraps around the sun. So, do we want to focus on Eclius a bit more and get him a bit more fleshed out completely, just so we can understand the lore? Because we rambled a bit about like the sea and sun gods potentially arguing between how he should be looked after. We talked about him potentially being, as you put it, a harbinger of the apocalypse. We touched on him springing out of the sea once a year to wrap around the sun, or how do we want to? Do you want to focus on him, or do you want to move to another season and sort of just like put general ideas out for it and get a feeling, and then we can just sort of focus on the seasons?
I think maybe we should focus on the other seasons and loop back because the other
Okay.
seasons are going to have some. I think that'll help guide their like attitude towards their problematic baby brother
Yep.
a little bit.
Is he the baby or the oldest? I forget.
Oh shit, he might be the oldest actually.
I think he was the oldest. I think we.
yeah,
yeah.
the problematic older brother. Huh. Okay, sick.
Okay. So we have Eclius, our Eclipse Dragon, and our choices to work off for this episode. We have our Winter Serpent. We have our Autumn Guardian Tree / Vine. I think we talked about him potentially being a vine that wraps around and chooses what he controls. We have our Summer Fish, and we have our Spring Burb.
Borb.
Burb.
That was like the bright pink like
Yeah.
bird, right? Oh, so cute. I
With
mean, we
the-
already got a decent start with the vine.
Yeah, you want to focus on the autumn?
I think so. I think it'd be cool, and especially when you think about like the changing of the seasons as a metaphor or like a guiding sort of like theme. Maybe he appears like a different type of vine or a different color or something like that to everyone who witnesses him.
Okay.
And like, you know, maybe that's supposed to be prophetic in a sort of way. Or maybe
Okay.
when you look at his leaves, then they tell a story or they shift to show your
Oh,
like future or something like that.
maybe he's like a
Yeah.
seer in a sense.
Almost, yeah. Because like when you think about the changing the seasons, autumn is the most drastic, and it comes with a lot of like fucking everything changes, you know.
Yeah, you're not
So
wrong.
yeah.
Well, we mentioned like his season travels in a moving forest,
Hmm.
basically. So like a kingdom could go to sleep one day, then wake up and they have a forest next to him suddenly, and he
Yeah.
just sort of plonks there for his season.
Hmm.
Um, can you imagine like seeing that though? Like you
Oh.
see autumn approaching, literally.
Yeah.
That would
Oh
be
my god.
crazy.
That would be fucking sick. Especially
Uh
like seeing just like a wave or like almost like in a V formation, like of just
Flying duck.
color changing. Yeah, but of just moving through across the countryside and there's like fuck all you can do about it.
Yeah.
Um, what if people don't like it though? What if they try and go and chop down a tree that is being controlled by this creature, by this spirit? Is it like just like blasphemous to do so and that's it? Or is there like retribution?
It could be. Because in our world, I believe that there will be people who don't believe in the gods, I'm assuming, or find them very hard to believe, or believe they just are not as present as we all make them out to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I guess I don't really know anyone who would fuck with a moving forest. Personally, I've like you'd be very brave, but then again, we are building a world of mythical, magical, whatever.
Hmm.
Um, if you chop down a tree that's within the moving forest, I don't really. We could have guardians in that forest
Yeah.
that
Like the
protect, like,
spirits, like patron animals and things like that, and like
yeah,
highest priests.
yeah. Because I think we touched on a potential druidic colony in there
Yeah.
that just like protects, that just travels. Um, but it could also just be a why the fuck would you cut that down, dude? Like
Yeah.
everyone could just be like an unspoken agreement that we don't fuck with this forest. We don't know what it's capable of.
Yeah. Could we? Because here's the thing: people are going to build fences and they're going to build walls. Are the trees going to try and like respect that, or are they just going to like tear straight through them?
I mean, I feel like if this is a moving forest, what if there is a specific path they follow every year?
Like a migration path?
Kind of, yeah. And they
Oh.
stick to that path. And if something is built on that path, they'll go through it.
Hmm.
But if you build
Fascinating.
like directly next to it, they just pass by.
I like that. Okay, so if that's the case, and the druids kind of have this migratory path they follow as well,
Mhm.
I like that a lot. And then maybe like around that area, there's really high druidic influence, and
Mhm.
like maybe there's a lot of lore with regards to being like maybe druids from around the world will come to this area, this migratory path, as like a pilgrimage to witness it. And
Ooh,
then do
yeah.
a lap with the trees and then go and fuck off and do whatever they need to do. But it's kind of
Oh,
like
that'd be
a,
cool.
yeah. Oh, man. So
It's my year abroad.
exactly, yeah. Except abroad is just like slightly headed north and slightly headed south again at a really fucking slow pace. Except,
One thing we do have to cover, just sorry to interrupt you, but
oh yeah.
when it comes to, because if this thing is traveling around the world, how does it get over the sea?
Shit. Good point.
That's the
Maybe,
only aspect where I'm like, this may not work unless it
yeah.
just becomes like a glop of seaweed.
I mean, that would be kind of cool, actually. What if there's the equivalent of underwater forests in this world that it kind of like inhabits and just switches to like,
That would be a fucking nightmare.
yeah?
If you,
Why?
no, I mean, like, can you imagine going beneath the ocean and seeing a fucking forest?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I
God, the
would.
aquatic druids would go so hard too. Like, can you imagine
Oh
like
god,
mermaids and things like that that exist around there?
I forgot you were a druid, man. I just saw the
Yeah,
sparkle in your eye. Just fucking.
I fucking love
Ting.
it. I'm here for it.
That would be really cool though. Like, I didn't think about the concept of mer people,
Hmm.
um, foresting this forest. I guess.
And there's probably a select amount of them that are like, hey, we worship the sea and this is the child of the sea. So like this is our responsibility too. And they kind of take care of it as long as they can, but then they see it off on its way as soon as they hit the other coast.
Remind me, because I'm blanking right now. What season is before autumn? Is it summer?
No, it's winter. Or wait, no, yeah, it is summer. God damn it. I do.
Yeah.
I swear I know seasons.
Because what if, because we have our sunfish, our fish,
Fish.
fish. What if he's just following his brother?
Oh, wait, what if they're fated to never meet each other?
And he really wants to meet his brother.
Oh, that's so sweet. It's just like following him around. Like little brother following, like.
Yeah, because think about it, like, when they first became, sure, they were probably like, I am the season, but I can't cover the entire world in one go. And as people came to them and started following them, they would have told them stories of the other seasons.
Oh. Why is that so sad?
It's like tragically beautiful.
It is. That's
it's like,
really cute.
So we could have our guardian, because the guardian's like, I want to protect everything I love, and he loves his siblings. So he's like, what if one day I can catch up to him?
What if one day he catches up to him? What does that mean? Does summer do summer and autumn just meld into each other and start fucking having random switches every day or 3 days between the seasons?
I mean, we sort of have that. It's like climate change.
True.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Accidentally stumbling into a
real
metaphor about ecological fucking disaster. Sounds about right.
Much. But no, well, like, we could have a classic prophecy where if the seasons meet, Eccles is free or something like that.
Yeah. Oh my god, but what if the seasons don't believe that? What if they believe that their powers combined would be easier, but and they could more effectively. Okay. So what if the sun and sea intended from the beginning for the seasons to be separate, and so then the seasons, the way children do, they rebelled in a way, or they kind of want to know more about each other. Summer especially is really good about this and has the summer priests and archdruids and things like that will go out and collect information and bring it back to the spirit on the other seasons. And the summer spirit in particular is really fucking smart in collecting all this info and sharing it, because they believe that if the seasons all meld together, they will be more powerful against the eclipse dragon. In reality, it'll trigger something that will cause the eclipse dragon to more easily overtake them, cause the eclipse to be longer and longer, and eventually plunge the world into darkness.
Well, I mean, if all the seasons were together in one place, you could wrap around them a lot easier.
Yeah! So the parents have kept them separate this whole time because they're like, okay, it's only got one target. It's just targeting the sun. We want to keep it that way. The sun can take it. Your mom can handle it. Go spread the fuck out.
Mama's got it. Don't worry.
Mother's handling it. And they... Oh, shit. That's such a fucking good idea. So if the seasons were all ever in one place, it's just
he would
going to trigger the apocalypse. Yeah.
And holding them all together, I guess, would cause darkness in a sense. Or it would cause natural disasters, I guess.
It would. Because...
Ice age in certain places, a massive heat wave in others. Autumn would cause things to die out and not regrow because spring wouldn't be there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Man. God, that's crazy. That's so wild. Okay. So the seasons are perpetually chasing each other. How would the other spirits, cross the sea then? I mean, I guess one of them is a fish.
Yeah, one of them is fish, and he just swim. We have a burb.
Can just fly, yeah.
And snakes can swim.
Yeah, I can say that. Easy. Gosh.
We could also, if we wanted to, we could also say the winter serpent just turns into fucking snow or mist and just goes.
Or freezes the ocean, because
and just slithers across the fucking ocean on this one little bit of ice.
Just fucking Frozone his way across.
Where's the super suit? That could work, because Springbird could fly, fish could swim, and serpent can Frozone it.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So they go in a perpetual circle around the planets.
Mm-hmm.
Or around the
planet. Are they
singular.
all on the same migration path?
Oh.
Oh, I guess that'd have to be different ones because autumn travels across the land. Fish would have to stay in the sea. I guess the winter and spring entities could just travel as they pleased.
I don't know. I don't know if the fish necessarily has to stay in the sea. It could maybe breathe there every once in a while, especially if there's an
Amphibious?
underwater forest. Yes, it could just like show up, like float around, but still do swimming like movements, but it's just swimming through air instead.
I'm sorry, what were those movements again?
Like little swimming movements,
Little swims.
little swims. Uh, but okay, yeah, I like that. But they would kind of have to stay on the same like migration pattern because if they, oh, maybe they do, but they're like slightly. No, that wouldn't work. I'm trying to think about scientifically, like the whole concept of them circumventing the globe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if we think about it, like one is just on the equator. Like let's say the autumn one is just on the equator, perpetually going around. The others kind of have to follow it, or else they'll have some path of intersection eventually, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
So maybe we can make it so that the seasons and like the north and south equator just don't really have anything different. Like everything always has all four seasons.
Yeah. That works for me.
Just gets like slightly colder, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Seasons are hard. Turns out fucking earth science. Hate
ridiculous.
Never liked it.
Not a fan. Stupid. I mean, if we want to, we're the gods of this. Let's fucking build this. I got it.
Okay.
So, what if? Because we mentioned Aclius went on a rampage when he was first born because the seasons just sort of hit the earth and started running. So what if they all went to a specific location and created that region?
Oh, so they
there
have
was
like a home base.
There was a moment in our world where there was one season in each area of the world. So to the north, you had the Winter Serpent, who made this domain of ice. To the west, we had the most beautiful flourishing forest due to spring taking place there. To the south, we had who the fuck? Autumn. Summer, sure. Yeah. We had summer who just beaches for days, 100%. Yeah. And then to the east, we had autumn, who was just this beautiful fall season of just loveliness. And then Aclius, I forget the pronunciation, I apologize.
Yeah.
Started attacking. And that's when the sun and sea god were like, nah, and grabbed him.
Little slap on the wrist. I like that.
And then,
so then, where would Aclius' home base have been? Just like in the caves underground? Accessible as by sea, maybe?
Well, he was beneath the sea, wasn't it? Because he's held there by his...
It's just... Oh,
yeah, he's held there by his old man.
Mm-hmm.
And after that intense attack from Aclius where he tried to attack his siblings, maybe then either the followers of the seasons or the sun and sea gods themselves told the seasons, you need to travel.
Mm.
You need to see the world. You need to make sure balance and chaos are equal.
Got it. And from there on out, they started their migration.
And they just started circling.
Cool. I like that. Okay, so then that calls into question like what each of those different like cities looks like and who inhabits them perpetually, like what the lore is. If any of the seasons are killed, do they just like return to their home base, or do they just like full on get like murdered? Do they like Phoenix style get reborn? I don't know. There's a lot there. There's a lot
there.
Okay, well let's go back to your autumn boy.
Okay.
Tree circumvents the world. Should we come up with a name? Should we try?
I've noticed a pattern with us. If we can get a bit of ideas fleshed out about this entity, naming it becomes a bit easier for us.
Okay.
So how about let's figure out the vibe, and then we'll try and name this boy.
Sweet.
Being, person, thing, tree.
Okay. So keywords would be like autumnal, trees, vines, almost parasitic.
It's straight up sounding like you were just naming an Autobot. You're like Automaton.
Automaton is actually not a bad name, though, I will say.
Automaton?
I kind of goes
kinda
on. It's a
fuck with it, I'm
little
not
on the
gonna lie.
nose on the front end of it with the autumn bit, but Manon is not a bad suffix.
Manon is actually really nice.
Hmm.
So, real quick tangent. The seasons, they're not named summer, spring, autumn. They'll be season of Ecleus,
Hmm.
season of, what was it? Mononymous?
Yeah, Manon. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that.
What did we name him? I was just saying Mononymous
Oh,
because I couldn't think.
autonomous.
Fuck, we lost it, didn't we?
God damn
We,
it.
we can listen back. It's okay. Well, we said because I thought you were naming him after an Autobot, and it was Autonomous,
Yes.
and I think we went
Menon.
Menace, Mononus,
Menace?
Menace.
He's just a fucking nicest guy on the planet. Just unfortunate name.
They just named me Menace. I don't know why.
Oh.
Mononymous, was it? Mononymous? We'll come back to it.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, what were you saying about it? Because we got distracted by a name.
Yeah, just talking about, well, would the seasons be named after the creatures? Or would the creatures just kind of have their own name and be considered like such and such, spirit of the summer or spirit of the autumn?
I mean, I think either would work. Some people might call it summer, winter, autumn, spring, and eclipse. Others might call it Ecleus and Mononymous and all that kind of stuff. It just depends where you're from, I guess.
Yeah, okay, I like that. Flexible. And then
Either
people would have
works.
such cool sayings like, when Ecleus arrives or something like that. Then it's like
Season of
considered a bad
Ecleus.
thing. Ecleus, yeah. Like Ecleus's arrival or Ecleus's departure is like considered the beginning and end of the season. Like it's almost like the equinox.
Yeah, that's gonna be such a sailor's tale as well.
Yeah.
Hit
Oh,
that flash of whatever he comes out of the ground. Oh,
so
tease for it.
cool. I love this guy so much.
Me too. All right. So we mentioned our autumn boy can sort of like change. What's that? Change hosts, I guess, is a word of
Yeah.
what he wants to travel around as in specific seasons and in specific areas. Should he have like a telltale sigil or thing about him where people can be like, "That's the autumn tree."
Oh, I think so because these are massive vines that like cloaks a tree trunk and then
Mhm.
makes it walk, right? So maybe some infusion happens within the sap of the tree. It changes like a different color, or maybe the bark itself changes color or something like that to denote the fact that it's either been touched or is marked by him.
That's really good. You mentioned like at the beginning of the session, you mentioned their leaves could tell a story, or they could
Yeah.
mention something. So what if the leaves become almost reflective?
Ooh, that's a good idea. Like almost crystallized.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's a good idea.
Or the
So does that
sap
mean-
crystallizes.
Oh man, and that would become like a resource.
Yeah.
Ooh, what if it makes really good weapons or tools?
I would fuck with that 100%.
Oh man, that'd be sick. Okay.
That's really cool. Sorry, I just got
Really
lost thinking
fucking sick.
about
I know.
that,
I was just
but-
immediately thinking
Like-
about like some fucking shiny pickaxes and things like that made out of sap. And like
See-
what it would be called.
See, this is where we differ. You went to like pickaxes and tools. I went straight to flaming sword of death and destruction.
Okay.
And we're going to call it Menace.
Yeah. Dude, what happens when something gets caught in the sap? Like mosquito from fucking Jurassic Park, which I've definitely not seen style.
Really? You haven't seen Jurassic Park? Lab's
think
going to
so.
get so mad at you.
She can add it to the list of things that she gets mad at me for not having seen.
Her
I'm just
chibi
now
is,
getting
like-
around to Game of Thrones.
Her
so.
chibi right now is staring a dagger at you. I can sense it. She's somewhere on your screen behind you, staring at you in judgment.
I'm in danger.
I mean, if something gets caught in the sap and like crystallizes, it could be. And if it falls, what do you got?
What if that's how the druids get their familiars, is by intentionally like putting a creature in the sap and it like evolves in a sort of way after a little while?
Is it a fast process?
Probably not. Nothing about trees tends to be.
Are they
But it's
putting a
it
live
would take.
creature in this thing, or
Well, no, it would be like putting it to. I almost said putting it to sleep. But that's also bad.
it's like putting
Like,
ants in the fridge for a hot second so they
all
like fall
right.
asleep a little bit?
It's like you kind of put
Yeah.
them under using. That's also a bad terminology. What the fuck is the nice way? They're not dead. But you feed them something. They go into a little coma. They
They're
take a
not
little nap.
dead.
No, they're fine. They're so fine. And then over the course, maybe they have to stay there for like a full season. And then they pop out and they're like, they got
Just
some new
imagining-
abilities.
Just imagining some druid walking up with an owl and
It's just like,
It's- just look at the pretty flowers. Like,
oh no. I swear it's nice. It's
Yeah, but-
cozy in there. They love it. It's
it's a
fine.
good time.
Ugh.
Well, I understand what you mean. I'm just giving you shit. They're like
Yeah.
preserved for a moment.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And when they come out of this cryogenic freezing, I guess, sap freezing? I don't know. The saplings? I don't know. The sappening. No. Once they come out of this,
who was
once
it,
they
Matt
come out
Damon?
of this, absolutely.
Yeah.
Once they come out of this coma-like state, how, like, what happens to them? What's your take on this?
I mean, my default is always that they grow cool spikes and things like that, but we did that already. That's already happened. I feel like maybe it would be something that would be autumnal in vibe, but also divination-y in vibe.
Autumnal.
Like maybe what?
His name?
His name is just autumnal.
Autumnal.
I like that, but it's just straight up the name autumn.
We could spell it differently.
We could spell it differently. Throw some fucking sprinkle some apostrophes in there and shit.
Yeah, autumnal.
Okay, I'm cool with that. So
Automatus.
the transformer. That's it. They turn into metal.
Yep.
and then and then a franchise somewhere in the world starts going downhill fast. The fucking
All right, so you shoved an owl into a sap tree and let it sleep for a year. What's happened after that? It pops out, has spikes.
well, we already did spikes when we did the mountains, the
True.
Sunspire Mountains. So maybe we can do or the Sundial Mountains. We could probably do something the same way that the trees get transformed, where they turn slightly reflective. So maybe like the feathers would start to look almost metallic. They're still soft and things like that, but you know,
They crystallize in a sense.
they crystallize a little bit, yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
But in the same way, like petrified wood crystallizes, you know.
Oh, okay. Actually, that's sick. That's really cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How? Because I know familiars are like small creatures technically, but what about like arch druids who can get like big boys? Like if someone shoves a Tyrannosaurus Rex into the tree,
Have to be a big fucking tree, but
That's what
in
I'm
theory,
saying.
it's possible. So maybe the druids are working on like breeding bigger and bigger species of trees so they can try and do new experiments, sort of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's dangerous. Interesting.
Mhm.
Because so how long do you, just so we can confirm this, sorry, how long does the process last for turning these creatures autumnal, I guess?
I would want to say like minimum 3 months, so that way it lasts a full season. But
Okay.
maybe it depends on the type of creature. Like the bigger the creature is, the longer it takes, and the longer you have to keep that specific tree alive. Because if the tree dies, then so does any chance of your familiar coming out.
Okay. So it doesn't have to be the main tree that you put this thing in.
No.
Okay.
But it has to be attached. So the way I think of it is like if we have a vine, if autumnal is a vine, then maybe it connects under the ground through root systems into the different, like to some degree, to all of the different trees in the moving forest. And so
Okay.
it's primarily connected to one like master tree, but the rest still have that some degree of magic and some degree of transformation.
Okay. God, that'd be, imagine just walking through this forest and seeing like a growth out the side of a tree of sap, and you just see a fucking dinosaur sitting in it.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, that's,
Shit would
what
be
the
so cool.
fuck? Like,
Yeah. Ugh. He's so sick.
okay. So these sap sacks.
Okay. Well.
What would you describe them as?
No, you're not wrong, but I'm going to find a better one. We're going to come back to that one.
Right, so sap sacks.
Okay.
Are these things? So these things are attached to the sides of trees, or are they at like base of trees?
What if they dangle from the tree branches. Like maybe the druids do this sort of thing where they redirect all of the sap up to the branches and it begins to dangle down into actual sacs. Kind of the way that like spiders lay their eggs
Kind
and
of
it
like a
becomes these
cocoon?
giant. Kind of like a cocoon, yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
And then maybe like little bits of autumnals, like more delicate, more like outward, away from the body type vines are like slowly spiraling around each little
Oh,
sap
that's
sack.
cool. I like that. See, Sapsack.
Okay, well,
It's
I'm not saying
it's
it's gonna catch on,
it's
but
it's catching on.
I don't think so.
I think it is. Um. Okay, cool. So we have that little process, which could be really cool. And is that mainly just a familiar thing where you just get a little buddy, or is that like a very spiritual, like you have a connection to something now?
Hmm.
Because is there a specific druid? What's the subclass of druids called in D&D? Just so I have a reference. Circles.
Oh yes.
Is there a specific circle in this forest, or is this just like a conglomeration
It's early.
of?
Forgive him, audience.
No, I'm just stupid. Um, it's just a group of different types of druids who have traveled here.
I think it would be like almost exclusively archdruids. I feel like if you're that close
Wow,
to
that's a lot of power.
it is, which is the only reason that the migration hasn't been halted in so long. Is because if anyone were to fucking try something, like you get just the full weight of the season's most blessed druids
Okay,
coming down on you.
I will make you a deal right now. This is the first deal of the podcast because I just
Oh
had an idea.
man,
Because I want to be a little bit selfish. I'm not gonna lie.
do it.
I will give you full control of the archdruids. I will agree to anything you say. I will happily go along with anything that these archdruids want to do. No
Okay.
arguments, no issues. Funny faces will be pulled because that's just part of it. But I will go along and say yes to everything.
What's the
If
catch?
if I get full control of the sea god.
Oh my god, yeah, are you kidding?
Yeah?
I'm giving you full control anyway, dude. That's fucking that is your shit.
Good.
That is
Deal?
I'm
Virtual
excited.
handshake?
Yes. Across the
Lav,
world.
sync that up.
I'm sorry, Lev, that's gonna suck.
What she did for the high five, she got her little chibi wherever she is right now and just went. That's all she did, and it worked perfectly. Cool. Okay, so the reins are yours when it comes to this, dude. So what do you want to run? What do you want? What do you want?
I feel like we should have it. I mean, we should still run with the pilgrimage thing, right? Where people will do their best. Are you okay, buddy?
I'm rebooting. Give me a minute.
Okay. Yeah, no, take your time. Audience, you need to watch the YouTube version
Oh
of
my
this
God.
episode, please.
I don't know what just happened. Everything just went black.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Having a mild stroke. Don't mind me.
Uh-huh. If you need me to call
pilgrimage,
someone,
yes.
they'll be there in approximately 14 fucking hours of flying time.
Well, I mean, you can call the Australian one.
I don't want to pay those fees.
Wow. Jesus. Thanks, bud, pal, friend.
You're welcome. Okay, yeah. So the druids, they would take a pilgrimage over there. They would learn
Yes.
from the archdruids and ones that have like the highest potential. Maybe archdruids from across the world potentially could, or people who are like the most powerful druids in the world are destined to choose their favorite season, go to that city and serve that season in its travels afterward, like do some studying there and things like that.
So does each season have its own like
A
druid
little
circle?
pack. I feel like because it's the seasons are so inherently tied in with nature in general that like to some degree, I imagine the autumnal one would be like the most dense with druids, but like
Mhm.
to some degree, every druid is gonna want to be a part of the season. So there's still gonna be like some sea druids and things like that, but it's not gonna be as prevalent, I imagine.
I was just thinking that because if our summer season, majority of the time is in the water, being a fish, you could make some serious mermaid druids.
How fucking cool would that be?
That's
Oh my god.
crazy. Are they aerial like little mermaid like mermaids, or they hit the land and like leg?
I'm gonna leave that
Or-
up to you. The sea is your thing.
Nah, you're all arch druids, girl.
What? No, I don't want to be all
No,
archdruids.
yours.
Okay. they just travel around in like a little fishbowl. It's just a cart full of water.
Oh, adorable.
God. That is a good fucking question, actually. I imagine they would have some sort of item that would allow them to travel on land.
I mean, there are amphibious. We could just make them amphibious.
We could make them amphibious. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
That's
way
probably
easier.
the easiest thing to do, honestly.
Because any archdruid worth their salt would have the capability of changing the environment anyway. So, like, or their ability to.
Yeah.
Yeah. That tracks.
Wow, we're silly.
We're tired.
It's tired.
I'm taking the tired excuse now, too.
That's valid. All yours.
It's like 5. But still.
Okay. All right. So, pilgrimage is a thing, and then do we want to say, just to confirm, do we want to say that each season has its own little guild of archdruids that travels with it?
Yeah, I think so. It kind of like protects it.
Is there like a secret arch guild for Eccleus?
Ooh, that is a good fucking question. Because they can't like travel with it up to the sun.
No. But where would they be? That's the question.
Also undersea?
Under the sea. Okay. Like near Eccleus? Or are they like on an island above where he is chained? Or like
Maybe both. And maybe like they travel up to the island to get as close as they possibly can during the eclipse. But normally they prefer to stay where it's dark. So they'll go so far under the sea that it's just no light can reach them.
Yeah. That's really cool.
So then we're world building not just like people who are traveling across the sea on a shallow level the way the rest of the seasons do, but like fucking deep sea, like translucent skin, blind, not light seeing eyes. Like, oh my god, some fucking deep sea creatures and deep sea druids would be the craziest thing. Holy shit.
We could make something dedicated to the little anglerfish that
yes!
went around.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah?
So cool. Yeah. Oh.
God. Rest in peace, little buddy.
Yeah.
He was so
guy.
small.
He was all he had was a dream.
It's just a dream. Just want to see the sun.
Yeah.
And our druids just want to see Eccleus wrap around the sun.
Yeah. Damn. Poetic.
I know, right? Okay, so we have a deep, deep sea archdruid guild of evilness, and are we gonna have to build like a circle of the eclipse? Is that a thing?
We should.
We should.
It should be a thing.
Okay.
Oh my god, like circle of darkness druid and shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be so cool.
Because they could wield like divine and necrotic magic. It could be a conglomeration of those. I said it properly that time.
Well done.
It could be a mixture of those two.
Fuck yeah. Oh, that'd be so sick. And what if there were people who like kind of defect from that and because especially when you're that isolated deep under the sea, maybe someone during their first eclipse season being sent up to the island with the dragon decides, oh shit, I kind of want to see the rest of the world. And like that's a potential adventure backstory for someone who has that background.
Ooh,
maybe they're like,
wow.
they kind of turn good.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That's really cool, actually.
Man. Okay, sorry. That's getting into like the character side of things.
You're building a character right now, aren't you?
I'm so sorry. It doesn't turn off.
We mentioned a druid, and you were like, build.
Yeah. Yes. Give. So the autumnal boy. Do we want him to have any other properties besides being a vine and being able to kind of like show people reflections of potential futures and leaving behind? What does the sap look like? Is it just normal or is it like a different color?
My mind goes straight to like that really crystallized orange kind of color.
Ooh, like amber? Like just
kind of, yeah.
Like more saturated amber?
Yeah. It looks like thicker in a sense, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe it like sparkles or something.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. Sick. Well, yeah, I think that's a decent chunk of what fall looks like then. Mm-hmm. And, if something gets in the way of this traveling forest, it just gets mowed down. And then its little summer brother is following. The little fish.
Fish.
Should we... That's kind of a good stopping point. Do we want to have a shorter episode and then get to like summer and winter next time?
I mean, we
Summer,
can.
winter, spring.
I got no issue with that.
Yeah, fuck it. We'll have a longer episode next time where we get more into the seasons a little bit. But
yeah,
it's a pretty solid fucking wrapping point. We did a decent amount, unless we want to get into like. Oh shit! Wait, hold on.
What?
We should do one last thing.
What you got?
What do the followers of Autumnal wear?
Oh, let's get into fucking fashion, baby.
Yeah.
Well, when you think of autumn, it's like chilly,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not too cold, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And color scheme, do you want to go the classic like oranges and browns and reds and all that kind of stuff, or is there a specific thing?
I mean, I was gonna say maybe like oranges and reds and browns indicate seniority.
Interesting.
So
like, elaborate on that a little bit for me.
So, like, maybe if you're just visiting, they make you wear green ceremonial garb and things like that. And, like, druids are given sort of like the same sort of robes, but in a lighter green color. And the longer time you spend there, like every new season that you encounter, every cycle around the sun that you follow the trees for, the darker and more orange, and then red, and then eventually brown your clothing gets. So, like, the people who wear brown are, like, the leaders.
Top shit.
Top shit.
That could work. And I'm assuming they just wear like really nice linen by the sound of it, like robes. And people can have like their aesthetic changes and adapt however they want to. We're not picking this one. But yeah, I really like the color scheme of like brown, red, and orange being like more seniority, and the green being like, I'm a visitor.
Yeah. Just like outsider. No Girl Scout patches yet, just there to visit and hang out. Dude, can you imagine too? Oh my god, the fucking jewelry and like holy symbols and shit like that could be made out of the ember as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Does it have magical properties? Is it like, well, I guess it would be a magical sap if it's a god or a deity, sorry.
I think it would have magical properties when it comes to like transmutation magic, especially because it does that whole transmutation of the familiars.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, fall is all about change and things like that. We're staying on theme here. We're staying on brand. So it could be used as a spellcasting focus, but it like slightly empowers anything to do with changing one thing into another.
Okay. You can make some really cool magical items out of that as well.
Yeah. Or maybe it's like really, you know how sometimes spells have material components? Maybe it's just like a really effective material component for some specific types of spells.
Absolutely. It could also be like a material component that gets used up for a very specific big spell.
Ooh.
So like you need 5 kilos of the sap from the autumn tree to complete this spell. Because I'm a big believer, and we'll get to this down the road. When it comes to magical items, I always believe magical items can be upgraded.
Oh.
So like if you have, let's say, a +2 sword, for example, like just a regular +2 sword, does good damage. Its magical essence is there, absolutely. But if you take like, what's an example? I'll use Matthew Mercer's example of I forget the name of the blade, but it's the blade Ford uses in campaign 2.
Oh shit! I used to know this.
Yeah,
I haven't watched this in forever.
Yeah, that's fine. To reforge this blade to make it magical and stronger again, they had to go and get a component, like a rare component, and bring it to the smithy so he could forge it, rather than the smithy being like, yeah, I can fix it, and bang, bang, bang. They had to go get a specific component to upgrade it so it could work that way. I love that concept. So you
think it's like an enchanting type like material?
Yeah, like if you have a sword and you grab a mass amount of this sap from the autumn tree and bring it to a smithy who is skilled enough to create a new magical item out of it, or an upgraded magical item that gives it like petrification abilities, because you can freeze people with this sap for a round or two. That would be fucking cool. So
that'd be sick.
Yeah.
So do you think those people, those specialists who can work with the sap, do they originate from like the forest and you kind of just have to like wait for them to come around each season?
I don't think so. I think in this world there are smithies, and then there are those who are like, I want to be the greatest forger in this world, and I will work and has like studied and trained. There could be a family bloodline who wants to be the greatest smithy, and they've handed down a book full of different materials and components that they've worked with in the past and are now working with, and they're constantly filling out this book to upgrade and learn from and change and adapt and all that kind of stuff.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Gosh, can you imagine like one of those guys hanging out at the crossroads and you just have to like find them?
Oh my god.
I love this so much. Okay, well.
Can you imagine? Sorry.
No, go ahead. I was gonna wrap it up, but please.
Sorry. I was gonna say, you know the children of Cato?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you snapped off a piece of one of them?
Oh.
The demigods?
Shit!
And put that into a blade? Or something?
That would be so fucking cool.
Because I believe if we're using Hyliana's kind of aspects in this world, you can scavenge from monsters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which I am a firm believer in. Like, deities needed that for so fucking long.
Absolutely.
I cannot tell you how
Who doesn't want to buy a Cyclops eye? What are you talking about?
Yeah, right? Just to fucking have.
Yeah.
Covered in varnish and call it good. Use it as a paperweight.
Yeah.
Fuck, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Oh. God, I miss those fucking... The Children of Cato were so cool. Yeah. One of the coolest things that we've world built so far.
100%.
It's just like these messed up fucking ginormous angels.
I want to fight it so bad.
Yeah, I would take that shit down.
Hands with it.
Gulliver's Travel style.
Yep.
Oh my god, fucking Shadow of the Colossus style.
Oh. I need to play that game again.
Right?
Damn.
I've never played it, but I trust that it's good.
I do genuinely highly recommend you try it.
Does it actually have a story, or is it just like you're going around just kicking the shit out of random giants minding
There's a story to it, yes.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay. Want to wrap it up?
On that note, yeah, shit. All right. Do you want to kick it off?
Sure thing. Thank you guys for watching. First of all, we really do appreciate it. If you are looking for me on any other platforms or you want to hang out for a little bit, you can find me at Odinn_Sun on pretty much all platforms except on Twitch, where you can find me at officially Odie. I love Pokemon. I love D&D. I love TTRPGs. I'm an aspiring voice actor trying to get back into that a little bit more. So if you want to follow me on any of my platforms, feel free. Diana, where can they find you?
Hi, I'm Diana Faye, also known as Diana the Rose. I'm a short-form content creator over on TikTok, Reels, and Shorts, and then I also do YouTube videos once a month where I talk about tabletop games for the most part. I'm also a Twitch streamer, so you can find me streaming Monday through Wednesday, 5 o'clock to about 6:30 or longer Pacific time, and then I'm also a member of the Latin Guild and Pride Guild. Beyond that, in my spare time, beyond having just a day job amidst all this shit, I am obviously one of 2 hosts of Worlds Apart, but beyond that, I'm a model, I am a social media consultant, I do performances and actual plays, live plays, things like that, so you find me actually playing tabletop games as opposed to just yapping about them a lot. And then, last but not least, I'm a panelist, so if you can find me at conventions all across the world nowadays, including all of the PAXs, Gen Con, some Comic Cons, and this year, PAX Australia. So I will be down in Australia, hanging with Odie, suffering the time zone changes, and hopefully meeting Turnip.
You will meet Turnip, don't worry. We'll make sure of that.
I love that man.
Mm-hmm. Me? Okay. Also, my turn?
Yeah!
Okay. Also, to bring in another Australian, we just want to say thank you to our amazing editor, Lav, aka... Oh my god, my brain is not functioning today. Our amazing editor, Lav, I'm so sorry. Our amazing editor, Lav, who you can also find at entity__edits. Lav helps out with all our edits within the show. You can find her at entity edits on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all those social platforms. I'm pretty sure she has a little tag just beneath us right now. Lav is incredible. You've probably seen her chibi pop up a couple times in this episode because we've called her out, and she makes us pay. It's part of what we love. Yeah.
We love her so much. And of course, if you are looking at our lovely logo that we toss in the corner of all of our shorts, in our cover art, everything like that, that was created by the lovely Toby.exe, who you can find as at Toby, DOTEXE on TikTok, Blue Sky, and YouTube. And then over on Instagram, if you want to see his art more directly, he's so fucking talented. Holy shit.
Ridiculous.
It's at _Toby, DOTEXE _ over on Instagram.
Both incredible people, amazing, and you should absolutely follow them. They are very talented, and they help us out a lot with this. It's especially Lav with the editing.
Yeah, we put her through so much.
My God. Sorry, Lav. We love you. But
We love you.
thank you guys for watching. We will see you in a couple of weeks for episode 10. Double digits.
Oh
We
my
made it
God.
this far.
Now we can pop champagne. Holy
Now,
shit.
oh my God. Are you going to bring in a cannon one day? Oh God.
Maybe. I'll do it.
I believe
Some
it.
like some of those like confetti poppers and things like that.
I was
The only
thinking
thing
like
is
a
my
t-shirt
fucking-
cannon.
Just straight in the camera.
Okay.
Oh Christ.
We love you
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye-bye.